You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Hello Sport Podcast, home of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. Back for another week. I believe it is the 17th of May today, but I'm not 100% sure. Joining me as always is Edward Aloysius Simpson, fresh off a weekend, a relaxing weekend in the Central Coast, I believe. I'm joining you here, fresh as a daisy as well, off a weekend of very limited indulgence. How are you?
Tip-top. I feel incredible. I think I might have a six-pack now. I don't know.
Wow, after one weekend.
Look, I mean, anything's possible when you treat your body like a temple.
Yep.
And that's what I've started to do.
That's good.
Now, will I stop doing that on Friday? Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. You and I have got some...
We've got a big lunch on Friday. So's Dave. Dave's in for a big one.
So the body will no longer be treated like a temple, but for the brief period in which it was, it felt good.
Yeah.
I was pretty pissed on Friday, I'll be honest.
Well, Friday we did beers and footy with the great Denning Kemp.
Yeah.
Live streamed on his YouTube channel, Manly v Broncos. Couldn't have gone better, 50-6. Forewarning, this will not be a full-blown Manly diatribe show.
Doesn't need to be anymore.
Doesn't need to be anymore. We're in the top 8 now, so what's the fucking point? But we did do beers and footy with Denon, and it was, firstly, thanks for having us. Secondly, fantastic night. Secondly, thirdly, breaking streaming records globally. Every single person in Australia had at least one desktop or laptop in their house streaming it, apparently, on Friday night.
That's what I heard, and if you didn't, then you've made it.
Well, no, they did, Eddie. I'm saying they did. So they did. It wasn't. There is no. They didn't.
Okay, good.
Every single desktop.
I was going to say, if you didn't, then you were living under a rock.
Oh, you might have been living under a rock.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. There are some people
living out in a cave.
That's true. I
Hiding
take
from
that
the
back.
law, potentially. Who knows? But you get our point, is that breaking streaming records.
Yeah.
Now, it was a great night for the club, great night for Tom and I. I think what it was, more than anything, if I can speak candidly, Tom,
I'd like you to.
is that it was a culmination of 10 weeks' work for you and I, in which no one else seemed to have their finger on the pulse. We always have. We said it wasn't panic stations. You can't read into fucking 4 weeks of footy. Yeah, we don't look great, but Tom's worth 40 points. Everyone chill the fuck out. We've also got big, thick boys like Pasecco, who I was told earlier ran like for 250 metres, and he wasn't even trying on Friday. They can come in and do a job with Adam Fanua Blake fucking off across the ditch. So we weren't worried. No one believed us, as evidenced by the licks we got on the fucking dribble hotline for about 4 weeks. But no one listened. But now I'm thinking you're starting to fucking get it. You know what I mean?
And
50 points at a trot on Friday night. If that isn't evidence that we are, a real shout this year, then I don't know what is.
Yeah. So listen, we won't spend the whole show talking about him, but just wanted to say that Friday night, one of the great nights in the history of our podcast, in the history of the club, the Manly Sea Eagles. Probably, look, I'm going to speak for Denon here and say one of the greatest nights in his life and probably in the history of beers and footy, even though he got licked near to death.
I think if you asked him, would you rather break all the records
and lose
and get fucking pumped, or would you rather win but have no one watch? You know what he'd pick.
I know what he'd pick.
He's a businessman.
He's a businessman. Now, we were both a little bit pissed. That was the only indulgence we had. I was pissed on Friday night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had martinis.
You were drinking martinis before you got out. I'm like, yo, keep a lid on it, bro. Hey.
Well, Hamish Street doesn't know what a lid is, so he went and got a surprise drink for us.
We went to the
pub. With martinis.
We went to the pub on Friday,
which I didn't realise meant there was extra olive juice in it, and I'm a fucking olive man, so I'm thinking martinis might now be by.
Dude, they actually don't taste too bad, do they?
They're so good.
They're not bad.
Gin or vodka?
Vodka.
But
so we went to the pub Friday, Arvo. We went and met, I believe, Dan, was it, to sign this a dribbler, the shitbox dribbler, who actually I might read his little message to us. His name's Dan. He's doing the shitbox rally, and which is like some sort of rally. You drive a car for a fucking extended amount of time, but it's an off-road thing. He's driving some horse, $600 piece of shit fucking Holden Commodore wagon, and he wanted us to sign it. So we get down to the clock. Just so happens that he's already there waiting for us. I rock up. Then fucking nude soon Luke Bracey rocks up and may I say, Dan was shocked. He was like, holy shit. He was just expecting Eddie, got nude soon. We signed this car. Link in our bio will have the link if you want to donate. We're going to donate some money. He wants to get 10K. I think he's around the 8K mark.
For cancer charity.
Cancer council, yeah. I think he lost a couple of family members to cancer, just doing it for charity. Good man.
Great
good
cause.
Man. We had a couple of beers with him. But we had beers and footy on at 8 o'clock. So that was 4 hours away. And we were like, well, let's have a couple of beers, but let's keep a lid on it. You know, we don't want to be rocking up maggot to beers and footy. We want to be able to speak well, speak true, speak clearly, and represent it. But give a good representation of ourselves, Eddie.
Yep, sure.
4 hours, 3 hours later, it's probably like, you know, we got 30 minutes to be there, or maybe an hour to be there. It was an hour before we had to go, and friend of the show, Hamish Street, is going to get a round of drinks, and Eddie just says to him, surprise me. Now, I'm like, I know Hamish, and Hamish is just a perpetual surprisement. That's not a word, but he's always surprising you with just everything he does. You gave him the company card for your labour hire company. He lost it. In between going to get drinks and coming back, he lost the card. Like, that's exactly... And Eddie's going, fuck. And I'm like, that's your fault, because you know that he loses shit, and the fact that you gave it to him is 100...
We always said to get him like a little wristband, like, you know, that you can tie things to.
Tie things to, yeah. Or you give him
so
like
not
when
loose.
Kids with a leash, put a leash on him so he can only, you know, like he can't get too far away.
We did find it, thank God.
On the ground. He was looking through my wallet thinking it was his own. That's Hamish. He was looking through my wallet going, oh shit. And then someone goes, that's not even your wallet. And I go, that's my wallet. Give me my wallet back.
But he thought it was his.
Yeah.
This guy, like, honestly, if we told stories about him, like even just our own stories about him, we would be here till the season.
We should do a podcast series called Fighting a Fighter, and it's just us talking to Streety and him doing stories, and we just release it.
Yeah. Because he's got so many.
He's got a million stories, and you just do
They're
one
all
at a
the
time.
best as well. Like the best fucking stories.
fucking stories.
Stories where you're like, holy shit, that can't be true, but they are.
Anyway.
He's like Carl Pilkington a little bit.
But hotter and, you know, not he's not dim-witted.
No, he's not dim-witted.
He's not dumb.
But funny things happen to him.
Yes. Anyway, Eddie sends him off to get us surprise drinks after we've been drinking for 3 hours, and we've got to go and do beers and footy, and he comes back with fucking martinis. And I can already see in Eddie's eye he's getting a bit fucking, how you going? And I'm like, bro, I told you that he was going to come back with something highly alcoholic, and he's come back with goddamn martinis. It was fucking ridiculous. But
Tom was trying to keep a fucking lid on me, so he was like drinking half of it with me. I'm like, bruh.
I'm like, give me some martini, bro. Let's, you know, we're going to drink beers and watch the footy, so let's just keep a lid on Edward Simpson, because once the lid gets taken off Eddie, it's like a fucking foghorn that you can't turn off until the alcohol is out of his system. So you basically just have to let this thing. It's like if a smoke alarm went off and you're like, well, until the battery dies, this thing's just going to go. So.
Except it's not like an annoying sound.
No, it's not. It's a great sound, but it's a loud sound.
It's loud, yeah.
It just sometimes, you know.
I think I was all right. Was I too loud, Dave?
No, you weren't.
No, you seemed okay.
Seemed okay.
That wasn't as glowing as I would have thought.
No. To be honest, I didn't realize you guys were even that drunk at all until
we
you
weren't
told me
that
this
drunk.
morning. Yeah.
We weren't that drunk, but
that's the professional in me.
Yeah.
That's
we weren't
the
that
professional
drunk. It's
in
just that we could have been had we not been, you know.
Well, had you not been there fucking yammering in my ear, I probably would have been.
Correct. If we had just met here, you would have been shit-faced, and I would have been like, Jesus Christ. But that was fun. Didn't do too much for the rest of the weekend. I'm just trying to think. Saturday, I had a pretty quiet day or quiet weekend, but I tell you what I did do yesterday. Now, you can probably tell that I'm looking extra hot today, and I look like a big green teddy bear in this fleece. I went to.
You do look like a teddy bear.
I'm a big green teddy bear.
Yeah.
I've officially found my store, like things to like, you know, like you see a lot of fat, and this isn't a disrespectful thing, but you see like a lot of bigger, fatter, sort of like well-known celebrity people that shop at like Johnny Big and shit. They put on like oh yeah, I'm sponsored by Johnny Big because I'm 6'8" and I'm 400 kilos.
Like Lowe's and stuff.
Well, Lowe's, but there's Johnny Bigs, which is for like huge dudes, like big fat
I've
guys.
never heard of Johnny Bigs.
Yeah. Johnny Bigs, it's like, oh, these are...
Is that where you're now needing to like...
No, I'm not Johnny Biggs, don't worry. I'm just saying. Johnny Biggs is for giant people.
Right, okay.
Either fat or huge in generl. You know, like their shoes don't go lower than like size 12s.
They're big people.
But they're usually larger, thicker individuals. For me, I've found my store. I've shopped there before, but now I'm like, oh, here it is. And it's Uniqlo. Uniqlo just... you know, if I go to like your general pants or anything, I'm always like, I'm a little thicker, so I'm, you know, trying to find pants that fit me. This I feel, Uniqlo makes me feel like I've lost weight, which couldn't be true. So
Which isn't.
Which is definitely not true. So I'm I'm a Uniqlo 36. I'm a real world probably 38 in
40.
pants. No, I've never been 40, thank Christ. But I'm
You could wear a 40 though.
Nah, dude, couldn't wear a 40. Certainly not at Uniqlo. Uniqlo 36s are big on me. I'm like, fuck, am I Uniqlo 34, baby? Oh, damn. But anyway, I went into Uniqlo yesterday and just went fucking ham. But also, it's good prices, dude. This isn't an ad. But Uniqlo, new pants, new fucking green teddy bear thingo. I got 4 pairs of pants and this fucking thingo for like $250.
So $50 an item.
$50 an item, which is not bad at all.
It's reasonably priced.
But you know the thing that blew me away the most
What?
about Uniqlo?
What, Tom?
When you're checking out self-service checkout, there is like a bucket. Not even a bucket. It's just like a let's just call it a bucket.
Is it a bucket or not?
It's not a it's not a bucket. So you got your checkout, and then here is just like
Tub.
It's a tub. It's a tub that's built into the, like smoothly built into the serves of everything, right? It's not separate to anything. It's just a tub that sits there. You put every single thing that you have at the same time into this tub, and it comes up on the screen. You don't scan a single thing. It just knows.
Tub technology.
Bro, I was blown away. Tub technology.
I've never heard of that.
You literally just dump everything in there and it comes up with all of it. And I just go to the guy, are you fucking serious? And he's like, yeah, dude, Japanese.
Did you know about tub technology?
I had absolutely no idea. I've been to a Uniqlo store in Japan, and I don't know about.
No, look,
tub
I went in Japan
technology.
as well, but go to Uniqlo Bondi Junction.
Having said, well, I mean, look, technology going like that.
This is brand new tech.
But like, they didn't even have to like zhuzh it
wouldn't be.
around or anything. You just dump it in. And
They were taking it off me and throwing it in. I go, what the fuck? And they go, you just put it all in there.
The
And then-
Japanese would have had that 2 years ago.
Yeah, sure. But I went to Japan a couple of years ago, more than 2, and they
Way
didn't
more
have it
than
then.
2. That was like 5 years ago, right?
They didn't have it then. I'm just saying I went to Uniqlo, can confirm, didn't have tub tech then. But this was ridiculous. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how it works.
Did he call it tub tech, this guy?
No, you did.
Okay.
You did
I'm
just
just
then.
saying, what did he call it?
He just said, pour it all in there. And I go, you serious, bro? And he's
No,
like,
I know I call it tub tech. I just like, what else would you call it?
exactly. I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying they didn't call it anything.
Right.
They
Which
just
is
said,
a little
put
surprising.
it in there.
I just think that technology like that deserves a name,
It deserves a cool name.
you know? Like, what's the difference between that and Mac's operating system? Not much.
Not much.
If anything.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I don't even know what that is.
And
but-
they name theirs all the time. Fucking
Oh, Mac. I think you're saying Mac's operating system. Like, who the fuck is Mac's, dude? I don't know that. What
Mac.
you're saying? Yeah, no, like
MAC,
Mac. Yeah,
OS.
Gotcha. Anyway, I was blown away. Talk about a nice little cherry on top of a weekend. I was like, wow, we really are in the future. Shout out to Uniqlo. I'm telling you as well, there's some good shit in there. Daddy gonna be back.
Do you reckon that people have always felt like they're living in the future? Or do you reckon that is like a thing for now because shit's getting fucking crazy?
That's a great question. I'd say people always have. Because people are always innovating. So you're always...
But it's slower.
Yeah, but it's relative.
But I think people used to look toward the future more than we do now. We're like way in the future. But like 50 years ago, there was like the Jetsons and shit. And they would have all these like, oh, in 2000, we'll have flying cars and stuff. And
No
like,
one seems to care. I don't think people will want to think about it now. I think it scares the shit out of
Yeah, I
people.
think it
That's
used
it.
to be
It's more scary
optimistic.
now.
Don't
Yeah.
you reckon?
Yeah.
I think people are fucking genuinely wigged out now. I think everyone's like, whoa, let's just cap it here. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
'cause it's
comfortable
like
now.
fucking-
I don't want to think about it in 100 years where there's like,
AI fucking you.
fuck knows, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know? Does anyone know? Is anyone taking stock of like
I
the
think
leaps we're making, bro?
No, I think it was more just like...
Tub technology 10 years ago, you say to yourself, can't be done. If someone said to you, you drop all your shit in a tub and it's not a
Scan.
shitty bucket, it's like
a smooth tub.
It's, you know,
It's built into the facade.
built exactly. You would say you're fucking mad
Yeah.
as a cut snake. I mean, look, I believe iPads, iPhones, all that stuff. I go, yeah, makes sense. Not tub technology.
No, dude, tub technology, I'm literally looking at it going... You know, like there's all the like all the alien stuff's coming out a bit more recently. Like, you know, there's sort of like more. I unverified or unexplained alien sort of activity and more chatter about it. And like,
There's always been chatter about it.
Yeah,
bro.
but nah, bruh, more than ever. Like,
are you sure?
Yeah, dude, like the fucking Navy and shit releasing videos and saying like, yeah, this is legit footage. We don't know what the fuck that was. Like of planes fucking following.
You've gone on a deep dive recently, haven't you?
No, dude, I haven't at all. But I'm just fucking like these are
like you've been up at 3 a.m. on YouTube.
Dave will fucking, if you're doing your job and Dioring, he will find.
I've seen them, mate.
There you
it's
go.
all good.
Thank you.
I'm with you.
But all I'm saying is, I think tub technology speaks to the fact that aliens are probably here because they found alien craft, and there's no way that's a human technology.
So you're saying to me that they've reverse engineered a find,
Yep.
like that guy who was on Joe Rogan.
Exactly.
What's his name?
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar. He reckons they saw a craft that was recovered in like New Mexico or some shit.
And they found some, like, they've been finding craft that are like 10,000 years old and shit, like when they're digging through archaeological digs.
Yeah. And so he's, what I think you're saying and what I'm trying to tell you, the punter and the dribbler, is that they may have reverse engineered one of these crafts on board with tub technology. Why, you might ask? Well, I would answer that with a why not.
Exactly. And they've just gone, well, Uniqlo snapped that up.
Yeah, bang, trademark, copyright.
Got the IP.
Thanks for coming. No, we live in frightening times, punters and dribblers, make no mistake. But I am comfortable with the knowledge that, like, even though we've got all this technology and shit changes, but it also doesn't.
Sure. But I think over time, I think it changes, but it doesn't change as quickly as you think. In the sense that you look back to 2000 and you go, oh, fuck, we had flip phones. Now I can literally
I think you and I are sweet. Like, our children may be, like, changed, you know.
It might be tough for them.
Whereas I think, are just like, I'm pretty set in my ways now. You know, obviously I'll use a tub if it's there. Like, that's cool. But, you know.
It makes it
I'm not gonna be putting my mind online, you know?
No.
Like, I'm not doing that. Like, if Elon wants me to do that, I'll be like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Upload your mind online.
Yeah. No thanks.
No thanks, bro. Is that a thing he's talking about?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Neuralink and shit. He's fucking...
Oh, Neuralink. Yeah.
He's off.
But I mean, like, if Neuralink gets me a sense of smell back, maybe I
don't think you want one. Like, you know, better not... Like, you do, but also... maybe after you got to change pooey nappies. Fucking leave it till then.
Yeah, but, like, you know what, though? I wonder if I'm just
But also you don't want a sense of smell because you've never even bothered going to the doctor to ask what the fuck's up. So you're not that, like, interested.
I'm not that concerned. To get a fucking, like, computer chip jammed into my brain. Hey, just go to the doctors, dude. Have a look at it first.
No.
Fair call.
What does this all mean for Manly?
That's the real question. But anyway, look, I don't think there's anything else from this weekend, Eddie. I don't think there's too much else for us to report on from a purely self-indulgent sense.
Well, I went to Central Coast and I had a great time.
Yeah.
That's
all. It was like a nice date weekend, was it?
Yeah, me, Elza, Tonka.
That's nice.
Yeah, Tonka had a fucking field day. Loved it.
Yeah.
He went he was crazy when we got there. He was just running around because we were like staying on the water.
Open spaces.
Wharf. Yeah. Lost it completely.
Well, that's it though, dude.
Pure unadulterated
fun,
Yeah.
joy. That's what animals love, open spaces.
When they're cooped up at the mouth.
And then you take them for walks and shit, but then when you give them a bit of fucking freedom to roam.
Yeah. But, like, not that much more than, you know what I mean? It's not like he's been living in a cage his whole life.
No, of course not, but still.
But the thought of this, like, you know, maybe 15 by 8 meter, like, back garden just got him
wet.
So wet. He was dripping, the boy.
Well, my cat, Louis, shout out to Louis, the murderer of young Australian skinks. When we were living in Bondi, it was a one-bedroom apartment, but he had the back window open and he could go down the stairs and roam the streets, but he was terrified of the outdoors. Now in our new place, he only comes in to eat food and drink water and then fucks off again. Like, he's never inside. He's never home. He's a full-blown teenager. He's like, fucking let me out.
I'm loving it.
He'd sleep outside if he could. We're like, dude, we're not letting you sleep outside.
How do you get him back in food?
Shake the fucking bickies.
Yeah. Where is he? Does he take sometimes a while to come back?
Yeah. Sometimes you go, oh, okay, well, we'll just have to... He comes back to the door and cries, so you can usually hear him if you don't have headphones in when you go to bed.
Yeah, I don't know if you necessarily want him out at night. They're getting punch-ons, aren't they?
Oh, he does get in punch-ons, but he's clearly winning.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, dude. He's a.
You reckon he's a fucking...
Like, you give him a pat and then you'll find like a scab of like a scratch all the way down his back. You're like, oh, and he hasn't shown us.
You ever heard possums and cats punch on at night?
Yeah, dude.
It's a brutal sound.
My cat used to biff possums, like not Louis, Sooty from Barrel. Shout out to Sooty, may he rest in peace. 19 years old, I think he was when he went. 19 or 20. Actually, no, he was 21.
So he's a scrapper.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's a scrapper. He was old as fuck, dude. Seen many a winter. Had Sooty. He used to fucking maul possums.
Kill them?
Yeah, Sebo's cat used to kill possums as well. Chocolate and Barrel.
Possums aren't small, bro.
No, but
How
country
do
cats,
they go
I
about
think.
killing them? Do you reckon?
I know that Sebo's cat.
Do you reckon they slit the throat?
Look, I don't know whether it's calculated. I think it's by any means necessary. But
Yeah,
Sebo's cat
but
used
no,
to bring
but-
back like the severed head of a possum, and you're like,
Yeah, but you say by any means necessary. That cat, I guarantee you, has a game plan. It's not going for its tail.
no, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's probably jugular. They know, dude.
I'm thinking jug.
Yeah, you go. That's like a lion or anything. You know, you go for the
Jug up.
You go for the neck. They know what to do.
Yes.
But Louis hasn't graduated from anything beyond a skink, which I'm happy about. Because
How do you know?
Because they bring him to you.
I'll do that as
Yeah,
gifts.
yeah.
He brings fucking
Dead lizards in the house all the time. We found Evie with one in her mouth once. It was horrible.
Jesus.
But now she knows. She just points at it and goes, yeah. But also, now that it's winter, skinks not as prevalent.
Where do they go?
They either probably die or they fucking go and they hibernate.
The winter
They're still
lizard.
around.
Yes. Well, but I was just going off what you were saying.
Yeah. Do they like nest somewhere, you know, at night time? Do they all just go and hide in like one big...
Where do they sleep, lizards? Under rocks?
In winter, eastern water skins brumate, which is like half hibernate. Not like fully like switch your body off, but like...
Sort of like when you're half awake when you walk to the toilet. Like I can get to the bathroom for a piss, a la out to the sun for maybe like 10 minutes and I go back to bed.
Yeah, semi. It says it's a period in the organism's life cycle when growth, development, and physical activity are temporarily stopped. It minimizes metabolic activity and helps to conserve energy.
Great.
So it's kind of like hibernating.
So you just stop growing.
But I also reckon like, actually that mostly. But like you have less doors open in winter, so the lizards are just like outside
Doing their thing.
doing their thing, yeah.
Okay.
reckon.
Shout out to lizards.
Shout out to lizards everywhere.
Skinks.
Skinks. Louis coming for you, but hopefully not because it's, you know, time for you guys to rest up as well. Is that...
I think that's us.
It's got to be, right? All right. Magic Round in the books. Magic Round's fucking good, like as a concept.
It's mad. It's got a lot of... I haven't been yet.
No, well, it's only in
year.
its second year.
It feels like it's got a lot of Hong Kong Sevens vibes.
Yes, definitely. But like bigger than Hong Kong Sevens because it's rugby
No, but
league.
I mean just like... Have you ever been... You haven't been Hong
No.
Kong Sevens. That's like one of the stands is just fucking wild, complete debauchery, but like everyone's fucking vibing and dressed
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
It
yeah.
sort of feels a little bit like that.
Definitely. And
But
there's
way
that sort of
bigger.
a vibe. Heaps of people dressing up, which was good. We saw all the PVLs. Shout out to the Volandis
So
dressed
good.
up out there. That was
Love
fucking great.
Love that.
But yeah, I think that's something we look at going to next year. That'd be a bit of fun. Get down there, see a couple of dribblers. A lot of the dribblers are asking us where the fuck we were.
Not there.
Not there. We weren't there. That's more a 2022 prospect for us. But it's a fucking dope concept. All the games there. I loved that. Like on Sunday there were 3 games of footy, and like I'm sitting at home going, oh shit, we've still got Penrith to go. Like Penrith v whoever the fuck they just pumped Titans. But
My only flag I would think on the whole weekend was the game selection.
yeah, but as we said on About Even, it was like they almost seem to have picked the games that will damage. Like, so let's say you've got home game, like you've got Manly playing fucking. Well, maybe Manly's a bad example. South v
Manly
Roosters.
South.
Let's say South v Roosters, rather than like ruining or take, like that would be a very fucking highly attended home game for either team, you would assume. So because you're taking that away from them and it's all at one stadium, they've gone, well, let's just play these games that no one really gives a fuck about in isolation, but in like the carnival festival atmosphere of the weekend.
But then you give the home side, technically Brisbane, the biggest club in the land, Manly, on Friday night. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
you give them the big game.
I'm just saying as a spectator, sometimes you want
Yes.
a fucking,
The games were a bit sort of,
you know.
hey, they just weren't that special. But
The only really evenly matched game were the 2 biggest beaters on the in Australia, the Bulldogs and the Raiders.
Dude, the Bulldogs, I'll never forgive the Bulldogs for robbing us of a Ricky Stewart meltdown. Like, that would have been... They would have
had to evacuate Canberra.
Well, they would have had to evacuate Suncorp. It would have been a whole thing. There would have been some sort of alarm that went off.
Bomb threat, but like Ricky threat.
The world starts like trembling and shit, and Ricky's just like a kettle about to fucking explode.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Grab your children.
Stop, drop and roll, duck and cover, find the nearest exit.
Seriously, mate, it would have
Evacuate.
You would have seen the stop, drop and roll come back. Are they still teaching that to the children?
Well, I think that's usually just for if you find yourself on fire, which you invariably would if Ricky had blown his top. But I don't know whether it's a stock standard procedure just for day-to-day like emergencies.
As in, like, you don't exit stadiums that way?
No. If there's something going on at the stadium and you're not on fire, then stopping, dropping and rolling out is going to cause probably more chaos. You can't roll straight.
Well,
you can roll straight for a certain amount of time before your equilibrium starts wigging out, and also, unless you're practicing a straight roll, I just don't know. I think you usually will start to pivot from one, like to a left or a right, whichever you favour.
You'd be top heavy.
So you'd probably go to the right then? Well, depending on which way you're facing.
Well, and like, if you had a big bucket ass, not necessarily.
Yeah, but if your ass is big, then that might, depending on which way your ass, it's not perfectly symmetrical, so you're going to like end up favouring one side.
I wonder how long it would take. How long do you reckon it would take to evacuate Suncorp Stadium, 40,000 people, if everyone stopped, dropped and rolled?
Hours. You can't even get out of your seats. How are you going to roll out?
You'd have to roll
the,
down.
But you can't even get out of the aisles if you're laying on the ground. That's not conducive to roll.
Allow you to get to the step.
Or do you have to worm down the aisle and then roll down the steps? Ridiculous.
Just collecting puddles of beer as you roll out.
Just rolling over fucking rubbish. Now, the Bulldogs, with the greatest respect, are such beaters because the night the Raiders were down. Did Papali get red carded? They were down at Papali.
Papali was off.
And they couldn't win the game. They got fucking, the Raiders chased them down.
Were they up by 4, I think? 4 or 2?
They're up by 4. Raiders chased them down, a man down. And it was just like, I was listening to the commentary and Cronk's like, just go through the middle and then go out wide. Stop trying to go around them. Like, what the fuck are you doing? They're down a man and it's Papali. Go through the middle. He's like, go through the front door, and then the side doors, whatever the fuck it is, will open up. But they were just like, no,
We've always said that.
Let's just chance our arm and throw it around. It's like, dude, this is...
But hold a lead.
Yeah, well, that as well. That as well.
I mean? You've got a lead. Hold the lead.
You've got a lead. You're a man up. But they just shit the bed. Ricky just simmering back down. I was so devo. Because, I mean, look, the Raiders clearly aren't that good. They did well to come back from fucking, they've got a man
it's
down.
It's the Bulldogs.
But it's the Bulldogs.
Should have put 50 on him.
Feel sorry for Trent Barrett. Really do. Handsome man. If anything's going to send him bald, it will be this year coaching. But the big thing out of the weekend, when you talk about Papali getting red carded, has been the whole PVL referee stance on the high tackles and shit. And I don't know where I sit on it. Obviously, the weekend was a bit much. But it's also like, is it the first weekend where they're implementing it? And it's like, I think choosing Magic Round to do it was a weird one. Choosing Magic Round to fucking have
it feels like it was a weird one. I don't know where it came from.
Well, it was kind of off the back of the Dylan Brown and Nakora smashing Tedesco, nothing really happening.
Yeah, I mean, I still... People say that it's completely knee-jerk. I think that this sort of thing would have been in the works for a while, and they've used that as a catalyst for change, potentially, right? Like, they were like, let's wait for something to sort of go, let's just let it play out naturally, and then sort of bring this in at the appropriate time. Maybe they saw that as the appropriate time. I got a couple of issues with it. Issue number one is the bouncing up of if you make accidental contact with the head, you're sent off. Don't know how I feel about that.
Sin bin, yeah. Like if it
sin bin, yeah.
If it bounces up off the ball and into someone's head, then that shouldn't be a high tackle, or like it can be penalised. Because you end up getting
there's no problem with that.
But it's not like you shouldn't be getting sent off, and you shouldn't be getting like Even if they get fucking KO'd, like that's part of the game. Like that's unfortunate.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Even if the opposition loses a player, it's clearly not they're never intentional, but it's clearly not like reckless and malicious and all that sort of shit.
If you go too high and you scrape the shoulder but go predominantly into the neck and the head, I'm like, bruh, you went too high.
Yes.
But if you actually bounce up off something into the head, I'm like, well, that's a little bit
I also think
silly.
if your point of contact is like, so if I hit you with my shoulder and I hit you here, but the force of the tackle means that you whiplash forward and your head hits my shoulder. Do you know what I mean? So like, if I'm hitting you in the middle and you
Yep.
like that also isn't you doing a high tackle. That is the guy getting fucking fed, right? Like,
Is the NRL, let's say they stay 100% with this
as is.
very clear, touch the head, you're off, at least in a sin bin sort of mentality. Are they essentially saying that you got to start chopping in the midsection?
Yeah, I mean,
you cannot go. You know how one player goes high, one goes low. Wrap up the footy, prevent the offload.
I think what they're trying to do. Look,
Are we getting rid of that?
Listen, I can also understand from a PVL like positioning, a rugby league standpoint, where like with concussion as fucked as it is, Jake Friend's just retired from concussions. Boyd Cordner has been out for 6 months with concussions. Fucking the Roosters seems like every second player's had concussion problems. Like, and within the context of world sport, all this shit, like you can actually see why they're doing it. It's the dribblers who are like, some dribblers are leaving comments on our shit and like just in general talking about like fucking PVL's ruining the game. He's ruined the game. He's an embarrassment. All this shit. I'm like, bro, you got short fucking memories. The game wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for him last year. These aren't like, it's not like he's completely changing the rules just to fuck with the game. There are elements that I agree with, like where, as we were just talking about, right? These things that need to be looked at a little more closely as to how they're getting penalised. But like, you have to safeguard the game from getting sued to buggery when these guys start fucking slurring speech at age 40 and forgetting the names of their family members and shit. Like,
yeah, and you got to remember, punters and dribblers, these men now are fucking humongous. Like they're massive humans. So like cops and like knocks to the head are more brutal than ever.
They're saying that some of them, the collisions are like getting hit by a car. Which
so
is crazy.
I completely understand why they're doing it. I think it makes sense. People saying that it's ruined the game. Well, it's ruined the game. It didn't ruin the game. Let's start there. It was fucking highly unusual to see like 3 or 4 players off at one time.
Yeah.
But that will change. Now, for it to change, players are going to have to start going lower.
Yeah.
Which you haven't seen. Like, look at how players tackle now. They tackle upright.
Yes.
Completely upright.
Yeah.
Like the who took Pappenhausen's head off?
Terrell Fuimaono.
He's standing upright and just leant into him.
Yeah.
Like,
or Herman Essay on Brian.
do you know what I mean? Like if he goes old school under 10s bootstrap stuff.
Yeah. Can't
or
run without legs.
Or at least like how Jake Trbojevic snaps him, goes around the mid.
Yeah.
Bend, like you got to bend over, prime, deliver.
Exactly. It's not like
you can change it,
It can
so
be
that
done.
you don't go high.
Yeah.
Let's all acknowledge that. I think though that PVL and et al. Need to acknowledge that if I'm bent over, I'm cocked.
Yeah.
And I'm braced and I got the arse out and I'm ready to snap around the mid and a bloke slips over and I cop the head, I shouldn't be.
No.
You can see that I'm bent over, ready for it.
And the opposition player has fallen.
He
or
slipped into me.
Like a way that...
there is nothing I can do about that. No. Nothing.
And that's what I think one of the arguments was for Niokore on Tedesco last week, is that Tedesco into contact will often... or at least in this example, but there's some say he does it all the time, but like as he's given the ball, he sort of drops. He drops into contact. So if you're coming in, as you're saying, cocked, locked and ready to rock, and then this guy drops, and it's like, well, I can't, in the like infinitesimal moment between me already making a decision to smoke this fool and then him dropping, like I can't pull out of that tackle. No. But as you're saying,
It's all about body positioning.
But you've just got to go lower. Like, you just have to go lower. That's got to be the new thing. Maybe
That's
it
what
means
they're
that more
saying.
offloads are going to happen because you can't have someone come high and wrap up the ball. But certainly you can't. I don't think you want to be having this many people sin binned and fucking sent off. Like, I reckon the Papali one, as we're looking at it now, I don't think that's fair to be sent off. His shoulder went right into his fucking head. Herman SASA, it wasn't brutal, but he came into Brian Toto last night after the 7 previous games of football that he's seen where everyone's getting charged. He was offside. He ran in fucking hard and literally just coat-hanged Brian Toto.
coat-hanged him.
It's like, all right, dude.
If that wasn't a coat hanger, then I don't know what
That
they
just
are.
showed a complete disregard for everything that has gone on the whole weekend and just going like, that was dumb.
Well, mate, it's just, heat of the moment stuff. Tom.
yeah, but like, that's
But
where
that
you
was
go,
a fucking coat hanger.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted, punters and dribblers. So what we're saying is...
Do you reckon you go like
think
a
if you wanna-
5-minute sin bin for some of these things as opposed to a 10-minute one if there's some of these things? Or like, I don't know. I'm just...
I think realistically... yeah, I mean, it's tough. If there's intent, right? Or like if you just get it horribly wrong like that, yeah, I think you should go off. If it fucking bounces up off the footy, I think it's a penalty, like I've said. Do you know what I mean? I think they need to look at it pretty quickly.
Put it on report if you want to, but it should
I
only
don't
be a
mind
penalty,
about that. That's fine. You can put them all on report if you have to. I mean, you're lining the fucking lawyers' pockets. They'd be sitting there going, oh my God. Do you know how much work I've got next week?
We should be getting Izzy Carey into the...
Dude, Izzy Carey, I don't know if he's doing any of that judiciary work, but if he is, he's flying.
Well, we should maybe start trying to get a cut of his judiciary work, just as a side note. Lawyer to the Stars, Izzy Carey, our lawyer.
Well, sure. I mean,
We'll look into it.
We can look into that. I will say this, punters and dribblers. If you think about it this way, need to protect the head. Head needs to be protected. Big, thick boys everywhere.
Yeah.
Getting bigger and getting thicker. The head, the skull, as far as I'm concerned,
Not getting bigger or
not getting
thicker.
thicker. Got to protect the head. Headgear does nothing. Blah, blah, blah. When you use that chain of thought and people they're getting so close to the head when they tackle, they're going up around the shoulders. There's going to be mistakes sometimes.
Yes.
There just is. What the NRL is essentially saying, if I'm reading between the lines, and I like to think I am, they're saying you got to go lower, like tummy lower.
Yeah.
Like sternum.
Below the nips.
Below the nip. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Used to be shoulders. I'm now hearing nip.
Well, I think to be safe, you got to aim sub-nip.
But I think that's what they want. They're not saying it.
No.
But they sort of are.
You have to go sub-nip if you want to be safe.
Now, they usually carry the footy, Tom, around the nip.
Yeah.
So I don't see any problem really. If you get a bloke good around the nip, you should be okay.
I think you should be okay if you hit him. I mean, if you hit bang on the footy,
Yeah.
try and knock it out. You go under the footy, into the rib cage.
Try and knock it up and out.
Maybe it means there's a few more offloads because you're not having big, thick boys coming and wrapping up the ball. Who knows? Who gives
Is
a
that
fuck?
the worst part? Do we hate offloads?
No,
I don't.
We don't. I will also say this for those, and there was at least one whose name I can't remember, but on the P's and D's page saying that fucking, I don't know if he was just a lonesome loser trying to get trolls going on in the P's and D's page. If he was, I mean, I think it worked, but he was saying that Pappenhausen was as soft as baby shit, basically, for going down. It was like, he actually didn't move for like 2 minutes.
Look, I mean, he's entitled to his opinion. I don't think he's correct.
Well, it's the dribblers make the world go round.
You know?
But the beauty of the free market of ideas is that you also get to shit on opinions. And shit on it, I think I will, because that's one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard. And when people are like calling out, like I get calling out people like, you might think someone stays down all the time to milk for penalties and all that sort of shit, right? Pappenhausen was out for 2 rugby league minutes.
They want to bring back those bath salts.
fucking...
Is that what they used to use to wake them up?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the dribblers want. They want bath salts back out there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude, he was literally flatlined by a monster.
I don't know if we can do that anymore,
No, I don't think legally we can,
you know?
considering everything we just said.
So
What do
I
you
think we
think,
moved
Dave?
past the bath salts.
Yeah, bath salts maybe not. Smelling salts maybe.
Yes, smelling salts.
Not bath salts.
Bath
Bath
salts-
salts is a drug you smoke, right? Or you...
Well, I think they're bath salts, but I think people have like snorted them or isn't that what
yeah,
made,
how do you take bath salts? Can you...
I don't
look
know.
that
Yeah,
up?
I'll Google it. But I'm
I
pretty
thought
sure it
yeah.
made people like eat other people.
Yeah, I remember this. That like
Yeah.
the guy who did that whole Coney.
Get fucked.
Coney, what was the Coney fucking movement? Dave might have
Yeah,
been too young.
Coney 2012.
Coney 2012.
thing,
Remember
the
that
African
fucking thing? That
warlord.
was huge. And then he got done doing bath salts, and it was like, well,
Was it he got done.
Coney
for
2012.
He got done for public
What was that
masturbation.
again?
remember that was like that huge viral campaign about that warlord Joseph Coney. For those
Yeah.
of you that aren't, fucking
Yeah, I
8
remember.
years
Is he
old.
still around?
Dude, he did that whole thing. It was crazy. Everyone got on it, and then he went nutso like down the streets of LA, like running in between traffic after getting high on bath
Got
salts or
arrested
some
for public masturbation.
shit. Yeah, he was jacking
But
off.
what happened to Coney himself?
Well, I'm sure Coney's still
I
doing
think
the damn thing.
no. Apparently, Coney had like pretty much already been stopped, like when he put that all out. Like, yeah, it was a problem and all that, but apparently it was like under control when he put it out.
That's probably why he went wild. And where is the man? who
Was that
did
like
it?
the first viral movement on
I think
social?
so.
Probably
I think so.
was.
Of like
People were wearing badges and
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It was like Kevin
Dude,
07.
it was huge. It was huge. I remember us watching it in
Kevin was
Bathurst.
he was the first.
Well, Kevin was big time.
He's a pioneer.
What do you got for us there, D?
Well, okay, so Coney 2012, he's been referred to like war crimes and all these judiciaries in like 2005, so well before that. He was in poor health in 2013. Right now, he's still at large, but has an army of about 100 soldiers, which I don't think is very much.
Still at large.
Still, well, yeah, to a certain point.
Still going. Large, still a fucking
Large,
exaggeration.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got more fucking people than.
Well, that's what I mean.
we have
if
more
we-
punters and dribblers.
That's
than
right. That's
Coney.
right.
We could, as the punters and dribblers could take him out.
That's correct. Now, that's sort of my feeling on it. I don't like seeing shitloads of players get sent off.
No.
Obviously. I think it ruins it a little bit. I like to see 13 on 13.
Yeah.
Call me a purist.
Yeah.
But that's what I like to see.
I just think it's too early to say the game's been ruined. It certainly fucked us some games on the weekend, and it really affected the round. But
where do coaches go to now?
Wayne and
Do you
Trent
reckon,
Robinson
do you
like
reckon
it.
they'll go underhand and start going, oh, we're fucking down here. We got 20 to play. We're down by 8.
drop into a tackle?
Drop into a tackle. Is that
Again, it depends on how the development of
ridiculous?
this. It depends on how it develops. Like,
Yeah, well, when it happened, I mean, because when Fuimaono took out Pappenhausen yesterday, I was pretty pissed off, especially because he's in my fantasy team. But I was also thinking, like, well, why not just send out one of our bad players to take out, like, their best player as well and just cop the yellow card and, you know.
like a bit of a chess move when you lose a queen to take the queen.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, they just knocked out Pappenhausen. We were, like, almost fucked from that, considering we had no other spine players. So, like,
Except that you clearly weren't.
well, we clearly
40
weren't.
on.
But if it was any other team and they were missing their 1, 6, and 3 of their 9s, then, like,
Well, it'd be if it was you or the Roosters, basically. If it wasn't you or the Roosters, then you'd be fucked. But it just showed where the Storm are at, right? You guys are fucking still a sick team, and you were absolutely fine, but
Yeah.
you won't win the comp because Penrith are so hot, dude. Penrith are so hot. They're the hottest team in the comp. They're fucking humming without a shadow of a doubt. There is no point of weakness for that side. Nothing. There's nothing that they can't do. Nathan Cleary, fucking ridiculous. I love watching Penrith play.
so do I? So much fun. I think Nathan now ready to.
Rip and tear for Origin.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I think he's now got the confidence
You
to
know what I mean?
take
Is
the
that
game by the
man going to
scruff
get
of it.
stopped?
No.
Like, I know I was confident last year.
Well, he didn't deliver last year.
But I know I was confident last year about our Origin chances. I'm now more confident than I've ever been.
Yeah.
I think he's still yet to prove himself as a big game player.
Agreed. I agree with that.
But yeah, but he deserves a shot.
Not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is I now think he's ready
To be that big game
to
player.
be the big
Yeah.
game guy.
The BJP.
The BJP that we all need him to be, we all want him to be, we all know him deep down to be.
Well, they're already talking about, and this is rugby league media for you, but like if he keeps going the way he's going, he could be the greatest ever, is the way they're already saying. Like I heard them talking about that on commentary yesterday. I'm like, he hasn't won a competition yet, and he's done 0, even though he's won 2 Origins.
what they're saying is
Series.
if he wins shitloads of shields,
And the form he continues with.
if he plays, if he plays fucking 400 games or 300, at least 300 games, and he wins a couple of premierships, a la the big guy on the wall over there, one Joey Johns, then sure,
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe.
But he's got a bit to do.
He does have a bit to do.
He's got a lot to do.
But look, that remains to be seen. But Penrith, outside of Manly, my favourite team to watch. In terms of the rugby league round that was, Eddie, was there anything else that captured your eye other than Manly fucking pumping the Broncos by 50 points? Broncos season now, officially, they can't win the comp because we scored 50 points. That's how it goes. Broncos
That's right.
season over.
Yeah, no, Broncos.
We ended a season. Manly's ended a season already.
Yep, that sounds about
Entrenched
right.
in the top 8.
Mate, not really. I'm just trying to think.
There's Jason Saab's calling out the Fox.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, make sure you look through those fucking...
yeah.
Jason Saab calls out the Fox. Now, he did it respectfully as well. He wasn't being a prick about it. He was just being basically like, right now as it stands, the Fox is the fastest man in the NRL. I think we can all... I mean, we can respect that and agree with that. But Saab's like, I need to be able to fucking test myself against this motherfucker because I think I've got him. Why, oh why, don't the NRL do that? Why don't they do the fucking sprint off? I don't get it.
Why don't they just... I mean...
I don't understand. We've been asking for it for years. The AFL does it, and they don't even have their fucking
No, but
biggest
they don't do
throbbers
it.
do
They
it.
don't do it.
Well, they don't do their real throbbers.
They don't do it, so they're not doing it.
No, you're right, but they still do something. They still get some fast motherfuckers in it, right? Like, why the fuck wouldn't the NRL do this? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know why they don't do a track day and it's just 100 metres and like everyone... So what, so you do heats and then you do a final.
Yeah.
So you put forward your fastest player. Everyone knows who the fastest player at the club is because it's fucking... They run all the time, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd race and shit
I just
at
don't
training.
know why you don't do it. Incentivize it as well. So if you want to have like the fucking, if you're sort of like, your clubs don't want to put up their best players. If you win, your club
Mate,
gets something.
what I would
or
say
the
to them...
player
Look,
gets something. like,
I'm not going to put words in PVL's mouth, but I might and I probably will and I'm going to do it right now. Why doesn't PVL say to the clubs, put forward your quickest, we're going down to ES Marks or we're going out to fucking the Homebush track, okay? Bring your spikes, we'll provide the blocks.
We'll ticket
and the
the
officials. We'll ticket the event. It'll be a big fucking hoo-ha. If you don't put your quickest forward, and we all know who they are, then you're losing premiership points.
Yeah.
Why? Why might you ask? For our fucking enjoyment.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's why. Because this
As
is
if you don't want to see what the quickest can run at 100.
Rugby league is an entertainment sport. So we're here to entertain people. Give us your quickest back and your quickest forward. Give us your 2 quickest backs and your quickest forward. Because then we can do a battle of the big boys as well.
Whatever. I mean, we can iron out the creases.
Well, I'm just saying, we're coming up with ideas. We've been thinking about it for 2 seconds. Battle of the big boys and then your quick sticks.
I'd love to see what Jason Saab can run 100 in. It'd be
Sub
low
11.
10s.
Sub 11. Easy.
Sub 11.
Sorry,
bro.
sub 10. Maybe.
I reckon he'd run like a 10.5.
Maybe.
See DK Metcalf run like a 10.3 the other day?
Yeah, I did see that.
And he came like stone last in that race.
Yeah. But he was thereabouts to the
Yeah.
50. Point is, we want to see what they've got. And I reckon the Fox, like...
Saab would get the Fox. What I like about it, though, is it's alpha to call out the big dog. Saab now growing in confidence each week. He's starting to fallow. He's starting to he's scoring tries at will, setting up tries. But his game's just going to a new level. Following us on Instagram, so's Roger February, not a big deal. But it's all just happening for Saab now. And now he's calling out the quickest man in the comp, respectfully, though, doing it with the greatest respect, but going... I need to fucking see you on the track, bruh.
Yeah.
I need to see you on the track because I think I'm going to get you. That's fucking alpha, dude.
Don't you love that?
I don't know why Rog doesn't organise the race himself.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, obviously
Roger's got to clear it with clubs.
Roger would be there
Oh yeah.
at the track day.
Maybe we should just get in touch with PVL directly. It's not like we can't.
Can we organise a track day?
What do we have to do to get an NRL sprint track day off the ground?
We could. I mean, we have his ear.
We certainly got his ear. I know he's got a lot going on, but fuck, there's never a good time to message the busiest man in the country.
No, there isn't. And, obviously you could say that he's probably pretty busy now, but he could be busier next week.
He might be. You never know.
You never know what's going to happen. It's rugby league. There could be a massive scandal about to break.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You just send him a message. Go, listen, you're a man that moves pretty quick.
Yeah.
You're an agile cat. All we're saying is, we know you got a lot on your plate right now. Get back to us when you see fit. But what have we got to do to get an NRL track day going?
Also, what do you need from us? We're happy to go there and hand out the ribbons.
We'll hand out the ribbons.
Obviously, blue for first, red for second. Was it yellow third, green fourth?
I think that might have been it.
Yeah.
We don't
Is
give
that-
out a ribbon for fourth, though.
No.
No,
But we are handing out ribbons.
We're handing out ribbons.
Not medals.
Not medals. They're ribbons. And cold hard cash and icy cold cans of Coke. That's a radio joke that probably only I am going to understand. So
I didn't get it.
No.
there you go. Shout out to the Triple M Rock Patrol vehicles down at Bondi, probably. Anyway, is that rugby league?
Chris Sando.
Chrissy Sandow wants to make a comeback. How old is Chris?
Did he win a Man of Steel?
He's 32.
32. Fuck. Chris is a bit old, Chris, but also like
He's not too old.
He's not too old. I'm happy for Chris to come back. I'm just saying, like, I would have loved Chris to have been 30, you know?
So what's he, 32?
Yeah.
How old was Cooper Cronk when he retired?
34, 35, 36.
Got years in him.
He's got years in him. He could do it.
Am I comparing Cooper Cronk to Chris Sandow?
Does Chrissy Sandow have an Instagram? Because I'd like to see how he's doing, how he's looking. You know? Let's see here.
Does he still like the Bricky's laptop?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, no, I don't know if that's it. Could be, but he's only got 158 followers, which seems criminally low for Chris Sandow. And then this one has 600. So I can't tell who's who here in the zoo, but I don't think either of them are legit.
I mean, this one could be. It's on private.
Yeah, he's got 100 and something followers though.
Yeah.
I just feel like even if it's on private, enough people are going to be interested to be giving him
He
a
might
follow.
knock him back.
True.
He might decline them.
True.
You make no assumptions when it
No,
comes
you
to Chris
shouldn't.
Sandow.
No, you shouldn't.
I'm also not going to assume that he's over the hill.
No, I'm not. I'm happy to see him back. Maybe he's rested, you know? He's had a couple of years out of the game. I tell you what, it was a sad story.
Hasn't he been
seeing
playing
him.
in England?
No, dude. He's just been fucking living in Cherbourg.
Really?
Yeah, he hasn't been playing, as far as I'm aware.
I thought he played over in England.
No,
I could've
he
sworn.
played in England, but he came back in 2017, played with Norths Devils for a year, then played with the Moranbah Miners in the Mackay Rugby League competition. Yeah, and that's the last thing he did.
So, okay, well, that's interesting. Let me get... What is Chris saying? Is Chris saying that he would like to play in the NRL again?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he saying that because he's played with the Miners for a couple of years, he's a shout?
No, he said he wants to come back and play. He said, I've still got something to offer and I've got something to prove to myself. I just want that opportunity, a chance. That's all I want. No club would regret it. No chance.
Good. Give him a crack. I'd love to see it.
But what sort of footy's he been playing with this Miners outfit?
Well, probably
Well,
not.
and he hasn't played since 2018. He's been working in the coal mines.
Yeah. So probably not a great deal of footy.
And what, he's woken up one day and said, you know what, I'm fucking...
Well, dude, he's 32, right? The maturity between 25 to 30, I think, for most people, is quite significant. Like for a bloke, I think you do get to a point where, like, yeah, priorities switch. You might have some kids, who knows? But like,
You've seen Benji doing it.
but you just sort of. But he probably gets to a point where he goes, "Fuck, man, my life could have been very different had I just been doing." You know, like he had like the world at his feet. He was a fucking gun halfback for South, for Para, I think, as well. Like,
Play for Para, yeah.
so, like, you know, there's probably a bit of reflection there, and it's like, what if? What another crack? Like, you feel sorry for people like that who fucked it. You know, it was through no fault of anyone else's other than Chris's. From my
How
understanding,
many NRL games did he play?
I think it's at 159 or something.
So he played a fair few fucking games.
Not
of
that
footy.
many.
So he
Dude,
played
150. He played like the average is 40. It wasn't like it was a.
No, but he wasn't
Yeah.
an average player.
He
Tom.
played
No.
200 like games of footy altogether, including Super League and
Yeah.
a few for Norths.
Yeah, he and he was like he was a natural footballer, as they say. You know, like he just sort of eyes up footy,
He was out now.
unstructured, out and out. But he was a good player. He was great he was good for the game, like a character. I'm happy for Sandow to come back.
Where would you put him?
Tigers, fucking Bulldogs. As if the Bulldogs couldn't do with Sandow.
Well, mate,
Well, you'd be paying him fuck all.
will you be paying him minimum?
You'd be paying him 150 grand.
Yeah. I don't say. Well, okay, I would say this as a Bulldogs fan.
Why
What's
wouldn't
the
you?
worst that could possibly happen? Oh, you'd lose another game?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to lose it anyway. You couldn't get over the Raiders with fucking 10 men.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you're all at sea. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade.
Losers.
You're fucking losers. Now, next year, you know, you're going to add some outside backs. But, I mean, that remains to be seen if it does anything.
So I saw someone putting up a thing saying, dude, the Dogs should go after Nico Hines. I almost just fucking turned off the TV or turned off, just threw my phone against a wall. No, the Dogs shouldn't go after Nico Hines. Maybe they should have like a year or two ago. Not now. You can't have that many outside backs. You just can't. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's an insight into the Bulldogs setup, I think.
Yeah.
Where has this obsession with outside backs come from?
Well, it's like a desperation. I think it's a desperation. It's like, let's just grab everything that's good. Fuck how it all works together.
But there are big, thick forwards that maybe, like, you know, if you're in the business of getting shit good, through the power of probability, at some point you're going to arrive on a forward. They seem to skip over them.
They gloss over forwards. It's like they can't see them.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
They can't see forwards, which is weird. But that is probably why they're languishing at the
All I'm saying is,
bottom.
Could the Bulldogs get worse with Chris Sandow? Probably not.
No, I don't think you get worse.
This could be a shot at avoiding the spoon.
Mate.
Get a 32-year-old Chris Sandow in, who played his last footy in 2018 for this Miners outfit. He's been fixing fucking trucks for the last 4 years. Is that what you need? I think so.
He's got real world experience where it's like, I need this.
Well, he knows how to do the dirty work.
He knows how to do the dirty work. He knows how to play footy. He's an older head for the Bulldogs halves that don't know what they're doing.
Kyle's a little green still.
Kyle's green, Avarillo's green, Wakeham's green, fucking whoever else they used is green, Lewis. Their halves couldn't be greener, even if they were wearing these two jackets we're wearing right now.
Green.
No,
we didn't colour coordinate.
We didn't. We never do, but it always works out.
There's a lot of synergy.
We spend a lot of time inside each other's brains cosmically. Don't know how it works. You spend enough time together.
It works.
It's just the way it goes.
It works. That's all you need to know. So all we're saying is, with that sort of real-world experience,
from one Chris Sandow,
it seems to me that that's exactly what the Bulldogs need. A man that can help you in a pickle, Tom.
Yeah. Or impart some wisdom. He's an older head now. He's experienced. You know, game management. Not that that was ever Chrissy's strong suit, I don't think, from memory, but like...
He was more razzle-dazzle, wasn't he?
He was, but I think I'd love to see Chris back in the game. Chris, reach out, get Chris back in the game. Hashtag Sandow.
Hashtag save the Bulldogs.
Sandow Ballet. Hashtag save the Bulldogs. Is that rugby league, Dave?
What's in that WhatsApp? Is there one more story in there?
No, there was the Vlandis quote.
Nah, that was all right. There was more just a story in there.
Yeah.
Well, what did he say in the quote?
Pretty much it.
What was PVL's quote?
So he said... So he's talking about how it's all been misreported and stuff, and people are saying, oh, he only gave clubs like 5 hours notice and stuff. And he said here that these are not new rules. You have always not been allowed to contact above the shoulders or commit an act of foul play. All we've done is vigorously enforce the rules. He wants to eliminate any contact above the shoulders. Players will need to adjust just as they did when shoulder charges, crusher tackles, or lifting players in the wrong position were eliminated, and you rarely see those transgressions now.
It's a fair point.
But it's also points that you and I made without hearing the quote.
Correct.
Also, I find it hilarious that the clubs are like, you only gave us 5 hours notice. It's like,
But
by that train of thought, then you had some intention to get your players to head high people.
Yeah, if that is you're going to be.
You know what I mean?
argument,
Like, got to change the game plan. We only got 5 hours to change the game plan.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Guys, just quickly, we only just found this out, but you can't head high.
Fuck. I know it's annoying. But obviously, we'd planned to take out a couple of players this game, but now we can't.
Now we can't do it.
I mean, I'm as shocked as you guys are that head high has been ruled out.
Yeah.
But here we are.
The draconian measures that have been brought in mean that you can't switch a man's lights off with a stiff arm to the skull. We're all shocked. Again, only 4 hours to come to terms with this knowledge. So try tackle below the shoulders if you can. If you can't, we'll just see what happens.
That's why he saw as many sends ups as you did.
That's it. But that's just very hard to argue with that point from fucking PVL, the way you go, it's always been the rules. We just vigorously enforcing them now, which is
Mate,
like, okay, cool.
If they stick with it the way they are, you will see the player start to come lower back towards the bootstrap.
And listen, dude, we've missed the bootstrap tackle.
Mate, I grew up on a healthy diet of bootstrap tackles.
Yeah.
So did you.
Yeah.
We all did. Lock them up. Can't run with legs.
Without legs. Get them around the laces.
You know, all the good stuff. True blue.
Bootstrap tackles.
Bootstrap tackles. I mean, I think that's been lost largely. Well, in fact, it has. I don't think there's anything sexy in the stand up and wrap the ball up.
No.
You know what I mean?
I can't
people
tell
like,
you-
oh, it's big hits. It's like, bruh, snapping someone around the fucking belly,
Mid-sesh.
taking all the air out of his lungs.
Yeah.
That's more entertaining than wrapping up the footy.
Yeah. I mean,
Wrestle on your feet.
I couldn't
shit.
actually tell you the last time I saw a bootstrap tackle. I couldn't even remember.
Scott Sattler.
That was the last bootstrap tackle in rugby league. 2003. That's almost 20 years since the last bootstrap tackle in
The
the game of rugby
bootstrap has been relegated to the fucking backwaters of this country,
Yeah,
and
it's
no
gone the
one
way of the
seems to
cassette.
give a shit.
league. No one seems to get
Everyone's
except
upset.
PVL.
Oh, fuck PVL, he's ruined the game. Is he though? He's trying to bring back an old tradition, one that we all loved,
The bootstrap tackle.
one that's still played over and over again.
Yep.
In Scotty Sattler
Yep.
on whoever the fuck it was.
Todd Byrne of forgettable winger fame, of getting run down in the grand final by a back rower fame with the line in front of you to probably win the game for your club fame. Shout out to Todd Byrne. So PVL's trying to bring back a bootstrap tackle. Fucking sue him. And he doesn't want your players to get concussed and be dribbling at 43, forgetting the names of their family members. Sue him. Because he's going to get sued.
He's actually trying to not get sued, funnily enough.
Yep.
So let the dust settle.
See where it lands.
Start teaching the bootstrap. Obviously, Scott Sattler, he's probably going to be in more demand now than he's ever
Scott's
been.
probably cheering this guy.
Scott's at home. He's rubbing the feet together. Told the missus to book a cruise for late 2022.
Yeah.
When the borders open, obviously.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
because he's got money to spend, and he knows that.
He will, and I think it'd be smart for Scott to start spending that money before he has it.
Yeah. Start teaching the Sattler.
But I'm saying, like, just based on the assumption he's going to get hired, I'd be booking fucking cruises, buying houses.
That's
getting loans
what
from
I
the
just
bank.
said.
Yeah, right.
Spend the money you haven't yet made, son.
Yes, because it's coming.
Because it's coming.
The bootstrap's back. Eddie, I was fucking a little disappointed the other day when I saw that Cam Bancroft is now sowing seeds of doubt in the media about whether the bowlers knew about this sandpaper scandal. Like, hey Cam, can you shut the fuck up, dude? Like, I get that maybe you were unfairly scapegoated for something that maybe a lot of people knew, but like, it's done now, mate.
I don't think Cam realises what fucking year it is. Last time I checked, there's an Ashes to win at the end of the year.
The last thing we need, Cam, is for you to start going, yeah, look, I think you fucking get the point.
But also didn't say it right. Did I read the quote correctly? He stuttered his words.
Yeah, he didn't
put words in when words weren't needed, right? He said too much.
Yeah.
Said so much that it gave the sense to me, Tom, that Cam knew he was fucking up. Or that he was doing the wrong thing.
But that he was like, I feel like it gave me the vibe that Cam's got to a point in his life where he's like, my international career probably over. And as I'm getting older now, I'm getting a little salty about the way I was hung out to dry on this thing. And now I'm just going to fucking speak out of turn.
Oh, cool. Okay. Let's start here. Cam, you were the one
who did it.
Right? You're the one with the sandpaper in the pocket. You're the one fucking shining up the ball. Let's start there. Smith was smudged, rather. He got fucking done in for turning a blind eye. So you weren't the only one that got fucked over.
Davey.
And Davey Warner was thrown in too because everyone knows that Davey was the one that told you to do it. Now, did other people know? Of course. We all fucking know that. Everyone knew that. Everyone knew that everyone else knew. but we didn't want to say it because we needed to field a fucking side for the next fucking 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we needed to chalk up W's. We couldn't take Cummins out, brother.
No.
What are you talking
Stark,
about?
Hazelwood.
Have you lost your mind completely? We need people out there so we can win games of cricket, brother. Okay? Tim Payne, we need him out there.
Exactly. We lost our 2 best players in Davey and Smudge. Dave hasn't come back the same player.
No, he hasn't.
And we lost you because you did it. But
now, let's also...
Shut up,
Let's
Cam.
also say this. Smudge, I think Smudge caught more than anyone because he was this captain. So let's start there. Smudge, through sheer willpower and, a sprinkling of savantism.
Yes.
I know that's not the word, but
no,
you know
it
what
is.
I
That's
mean.
a perfect word.
Dragged himself back to the tippy top of the sport, and I'm talking about double ton after double ton.
Number 1 test batter in the world vibes.
In the Ashes, right? Okay. He did it. Now, you obviously sit there a little salty at how it all went down, not in the fucking test side, and now you got the shits. If you went out there and took a leaf out of Smudge's book, you'd be out there hitting double tons in the Ashes as well, and no one would give a shit.
Yeah, I tell you what it'd be. I tell you, it's Cam, shut up. Don't talk about it. If someone asks you, just go, fuck, it's done. It's done. It's part of my life that I'm not proud of. It's done.
But you're pointing out something that everyone else knows.
Yeah, but he was asked the question. He didn't just come out and say it.
No, I know
He's
that.
being interviewed. Someone asked him, and he's like, I think we all... no, dude, we don't.
You just go, I would just say, oh, fuck, I can't remember.
Mate, that was a long time ago. I can't even remember what I had for fucking breakfast.
No. That old chestnut, that old line.
Yeah, but that, I can't even remember what day it is. You ever lied before, bro? Of course you have. You sandpapered a ball. You've lied heaps.
Have you ever heard of a little thing called a white lie?
Yeah.
Don't know
hurt
why
anyone.
they're called white lies, but we all know what they mean. You can say them to get out of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you like, okay, you're supposed to go for drinks with a bloke that you don't really know. And you're like,
Oh, sorry, dude.
sorry, brah. Missus just called me. We're actually having a kid.
White lie. Now, obviously, that lie is going to come back to haunt you.
That could be a bad one.
Yeah, your missus is 12 months pregnant. Yeah, dude, first time it's ever
Yeah.
happened in human history.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
gestating a little longer than we thought, but still very excited.
What happened to the cake in the fridge? Oh, I think the dog ate it.
Dog
you know
must have-
you ate it.
Yeah.
You know you ate it, but you don't want to admit that you ate a whole cake by yourself
No.
for morning tea.
This sounds like you're stealing a story straight out of my life and change dog for cat. Yes, Louis learned how to open the fucking fridge door. Yeah, he did. The cat's a genius.
Smart cat.
Must be strong as well.
Strong cat, smart cat, and no, that's not cake in my beard. Cam, learn to lie a little bit better. What the fuck are you doing? That's a national. He's let down the country there doing that.
But also,
That's like treason.
That's treason. You already let down the country once. Don't let us down again. You hold that. You swallow that lie. Think about the
swallow
fucking
that.
Americans that killed JFK. Button up.
Yeah.
We're not talking about it. Everyone can have their conspiracy theories. Everyone can talk about,
deny till you die,
Yeah.
bruh. Obviously, you couldn't deny it because you got caught red-handed. There's footage of it.
Yeah.
But everyone else is denying till they die.
Yeah. And
Right.
now that's all anyone's going to
Play
be asked
along
about.
a little bit. We're all in this white lie together
Yeah.
except you.
This is a national white lie. We're all pretending like no one else fucking knew about it, dude.
Oh, Tim Payne, one of the nicest guys in world sport, he had no fucking clue.
He had no idea. He was
Pat Cummins, the hottest, sexiest, best bowler maybe of all time. He
and a
didn't know.
nice guy.
He didn't know.
He
had
was
no
in
idea.
tears when he found out his teammates were cheating.
How did he know? He had no fucking clue.
He had no idea. Stark, no
Gary
idea.
Lyon, best offie ever to come out of Australia. He had no idea.
No idea.
Zero idea. None. So that's the fucking lie.
Buff Lehman didn't know. He just quit. He was like, I'm so devastated. I had no idea.
Why did Buff quit? To protect the white lie.
To protect the country. He fell on his sword for the nation. It seems like you were forced onto your sword because you fucking were caught
He
doing it.
didn't fall on his sword. He didn't fall on it.
This looks bad on you, bangers.
Now, I didn't want to come in here today and get emotional.
Hard not to, though. When
But
that
you've
happens.
made me because it's an Ashes year. We all know what it means. We've got an opportunity to fucking stick the knife in here, get another 5-0, assert our dominance, okay? And we don't need this. Not in May.
No.
Not 6 months out.
Fuck it. We're not
Did you
playing
need it?
much
Did you
cricket
need that,
either.
Dave? Did you need to hear that,
That is
coming
the
in
last
today?
thing I
You didn't
needed to hear.
need to fucking hear that.
No.
You didn't need to hear that.
I didn't need to hear it. I was.
And the
I was
nation didn't need to hear
devastated
that,
all weekend.
nor did the playing group. Now, again,
He was saying it to an English publication as well to make it
Exactly,
even worse.
that's what I'm
you go into
saying.
the enemy and you're fucking squeak, 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 whispering like a little fucking mouse.
mate, you know what the Poms are like? They're going to take this and fucking run. Like, they will roll this shit out for the next 6 months. up until the first ball,
Yeah.
and then there'll be a different narrative.
I tell you who ain't opening the batting for Australia in the Ashes. You, bruh. You won't be allowed. There'll be a fucking referendum on it if you're even in the reckoning.
Do Tom and I have the power to enact? Well, not
Referendums.
enact. Can we get referendums off the ground? Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Ministers
can.
for sport.
Talking to him.
Well, I just said ministers. I'm starting to put myself in there as well. I feel
You're
like
my EA.
I'm certainly the EA, and I'm not the shadow because then I'd be the opposition.
No, you're the EA to the Minister
I'm
for
not
Sport.
the EA to the Minister of Sport. I think maybe we're just ministers. You know what I mean? It's like we're the first dual
Co-ministers.
We're like the Walker brothers of coaching, right? But we're just both dual ministers. You can be slightly more senior. I've still got to get things cleared through you, right?
Yes.
Like I can't just go and make decisions.
Yeah.
I have to ask you for the company card.
Yes.
The ministerial card.
Yes,
But I'm still a minister.
I'll allow it.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm more senior.
Yeah, you can be slightly more senior.
Where
long as I get
does
the
this
title.
land us? This lands us in the unfortunate position of having to
Do we allow Bancroft back in the country?
call out a player on the podcast. I mean, Tom and I don't revel in this sort of, behaviour.
No.
It's not really our style, to be honest. But
Never done it before.
we've never done it before. And I'd never thought I would have to. But, you've backed me into a corner, Bangers.
I don't know whether we let him back into the country. I think he's playing English County.
I don't see the reason for him to have a passport.
No. Can you check Bancroft's background? I
I
feel like
bet you he's a pom.
I bet you he's got some pom in him. It wouldn't surprise me at all if
I bet you
Bancroft's
he's
got a
got two.
grandma.
That is spoken with a man that knows he can fall back on a UK passport. To me,
Yeah.
is that Nivea?
Yes. Cream for my face.
Do you prefer Nivea?
No, I don't. The problem is I'm a psoriasis sufferer, as we all know, and I usually have coconut oil, right? But it's in quite a large tub. And so I need something that's like this sleek and sexy. Hey, any fucking moisturizer brands want to fucking sponsor the podcast. But so I need something sleek and sexy to carry around so that I can moisturize my fucking face. When we were doing beers and footy on Friday night, as we arrived, I was looking at my face. I was like, I look like...
No, I know. You said you wanted to stop for moisturiser on the way here.
Yeah, I look like a snake shedding skin. Anything on Bangers, Dave?
Nothing really. He was born in Western Australia.
Parents?
Doesn't
A lot of
say
Poms live in
anywhere.
Western Australia.
They do.
Bit closer.
Google just Bancroft's parent, like Cam Bancroft parents.
Yeah.
Go to
Parents,
personal
I'm on
life.
that,
It should
yeah.
say in his early years.
Yeah.
Nah, there's nothing on Wikipedia about that.
He doesn't get an early years section.
No, it doesn't have an
Doesn't
early
deserve
years.
one.
It just starts at like under 17s.
Look, I used to like Bangers.
Same.
Not saying, well, I mean...
No, I don't like him anymore. I don't like him anymore. You kidding me?
No, you can't really, can you? It's hard to. He's made it very
Fuck
hard.
that, dude.
Making it very
You
hard.
can't come and turn the heat on the nation like that.
What do you go? You got it up?
I'm just trying to see whether he's got any fucking pommy heritage. Look, I can't find it immediately, but I think it's safe to assume that he does. You know what I mean?
Sort of.
No, I'm saying that's 100% what it is. You assume he's English. Debuted against England. That doesn't mean anything to me.
I found his father's name.
Frank.
Frank, yeah, and Linda. But
Youth and domestic career.
Why don't you Google where was Cameron Bancroft's mother born?
There you go, Dave. We'll leave that one to you as we move on. But I think it's safe to say Cam Bancroft, pretty much English. Is that fair to say?
I think he is English.
Yeah. Cam Bancroft, a sleeper for England, trying to bring up old wounds.
well, okay, I couldn't find that, but the origins of the Bancroft name lie with England's ancient Anglo-Saxon culture. It comes from when the family lived at or near an enclosure at a slope, deriving its origin from the Old English phrase of the bank croft.
There we go.
So very English.
Very English.
I mean, Tom tapped in.
Yeah, we're tapped in.
You could say, well, fuck, mate. Most people in Australia are English. And I would say to you, not
Shut
true.
up. Not true.
Not
I'm
modern
not
Australia.
Not true. We're Kiwi.
Not
Yeah.
modern Australia.
We're Kiwi, Dave South African. There, bang.
There you go.
3 people on this podcast.
And Matt, the producer, is
Where are you from? Where are your family
He's
from? What's your
American,
heritage?
so there you go.
Huh? No, I realise that, but like your heritage, your origin.
Oh,
No, he's lying. He's
What?
Irish. There you go. There you go.
So 4 no's.
4 non-English
One
people.
yes.
I think, even though I don't know where my dad's family's from, probably fucking Japan. You confused by that, or have you found some information?
No. I just zoned out for a second and I heard my dad's from Japan and I got confused.
Well, my mum actually born in Thailand, could have had a Thai passport.
Really?
Technically, I'm Thai.
My great grandmother born in Shanghai. Actually, maybe, I don't know, some other Chinese place. I don't know.
Arigato.
Yes. No, that's not Chinese.
Oh, you said Shanghai. Sorry.
That's in China.
I was thinking Japan because I'm all fucking kitted up in
Uniqlo.
and the tub technology.
Do you know where
and-
Shanghai is?
Yeah, that's China.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Again,
Beijing, do you know where that is?
that's in Frankfurt, right? Let's
We're,
move on. Now, listen, we don't talk a lot of AFL on this show, but we do love our AFL.
We talk enough.
We talk enough. Now, a story that's taken our eye. This seems to happen way more in AFL. In fact, it actually only really seems to happen in AFL. But some footage of inside the Collingwood dressing room, because the cameras are in there, had Jordan De Goey like squeezing his teammate's ass, maybe slipping a little sort of frivolous finger in the date of one of his friends. Not penetrating because it was over shorts. So there's no way it penetrated unless he really went for it. But I don't think that happened. It was a bit of fun, bit of a laugh, right? But it was on cameras, and then some fucking sad losers who are watching on TV, was, I believe, calling it out as like sexual assault.
Oh my God.
And they're like, the AFL's now investigating it. Collingwood are like, nah, it's all good, eh? Like, it was a fucking... Can you find the term that Collingwood used, Dave? But it was like, the way they described it was like a bit of like fun in the change rooms or some shit.
Well, they said, we believe appropriate change room behavior is important. In this instance, neither players nor the club believe inappropriate behavior has occurred.
Yeah.
What is going on?
It's literally like...
I thought the bum tap was sacred.
I think the bum tap was fine, but in the eyes of the PC police, but it was the finger that maybe followed. Dave, can you just watch the video and clarify?
Yeah, so it was...
Yeah, get up
it
the
was,
video. I haven't seen it.
Do you want me to... I'll play it.
I'll need to run an eye over this.
Yeah.
All right.
So they're not. So the bum tap remains sacred.
I don't think bum tap remains sacred. I think bum taps are still probably a little bit problematic for certain people, but I think it was once he fingered him.
Well, I'll make an assessment on that, Tom.
Pull the screen forward.
I'll make an assessment on whether finger has entered date.
Oh.
Because you press spacebar, mate.
Right, now we see Jordan De Goey. Backs to the camera.
Which one's De Goey?
You'll see he's right in the centre there. Bit of a bum tap.
Yep,
That's
like
nice.
that. Yep.
Squeezed it. Is that it? He didn't even finger his ass.
Bang, bang, bang. Yep, squeeze.
He just
boom.
squeezed it. He didn't even... He just squeezed his ass. I thought he stuck a finger in.
No, he goes like this. Here, look.
He goes, bang, bang. Here, look, for those of you that aren't watching, this is it, Eddie. Tell me if this was correct.
Turn around.
Maybe a bit of a hold.
No. Watch his middle finger. This is the problem. This is what they've got issues with.
That middle finger doesn't go in.
I think they think it does. Bang, bang, and then see?
Oh, yeah, but no, that's just...
Maybe like a pinky.
I tell you what that is. That's just him trying to get, not in, but just trying to get under the meat.
Yeah.
So he's gone bang, bang on the side. Then he's pivoted his hand a little bit and just got some meat.
Yeah, he wants meat.
He's just trying to get meat.
Yeah.
That's all about like opposable thumbs and fucking using your fingers correctly and shit.
Well, that's like, it's using the opposable thumb to our advantage. I mean, we were given it for a reason.
Dude, that's pathetic. That
for
is
squeezing meat.
fucking pathetic. Like the AFL's investigating as well.
No, he's just letting his mate know he's there.
I'm here. I'm here for you.
I'm here for you.
I'm willing to
gonna
do
go
whatever
there.
it takes.
Yeah, I'm going to kick goals for you. I'm going to take marks. I'm going to, handball my ass off or your ass off. And
I'm just here for you.
we're going to try get a win.
I'm here for you no matter what. Now, a video was released this week of the Cheese bear hugging Craig Bellamy at training, picks him up, drops him on the ground and starts fucking humping him. That's the greatest coach of all time.
Yeah.
Rugby league's like play on. That is good, honest roughhousery. That's a bit of fun amongst consenting friends.
Yeah. And look, I think that Craig knows that a little sort of fooling around, a little fake humping sometimes. What the doctor ordered.
Premiership's built on.
They go out there completely under strength on the weekend. They lose Pappenhausen early on, and they put 40 on the Dragons. The Dragons are in the top 8, so they're not the worst side of all time. I think they probably are, but they're still in the top 8. So you get my point. Where's that culture come from? A win at all cost culture.
Yeah,
it comes from grabbing your mate's ass, giving it a bit of a squeeze, and if the moment calls for it, maybe a fake hump.
Yeah, it's all a bit of fun and games.
Now, if you're doing it to someone that clearly doesn't fucking want it,
different story.
Completely different story. But like, you got to understand, PC police, who've probably never been in a dressing room in your life, that it's sort of like in that world where there's a lot of testosterone flying around. I'm talking about men's sport here specifically. Sometimes a bit of junk's grabbed, a bit of arse is grabbed. You know what I mean? It's all a bit of fun.
It's a bit of fun. Obviously, if you're not into it or if you don't want it to happen, that's fine. But if Collingwood's like, nah, dude, that was fine. But also watching that video, and as you saw our reenactment, tap, meat grab. Tap, tap, meat grab.
Yep.
That was way less. I was defending a finger in the arse, Eddie.
I know you were, and rightly so.
Rightly so, but a tap meat grab, like, fuck.
And also, it's over the short,
Yeah.
punters and dribblers. Now, if this sort of thing had happened in the shower,
which I'm sure it does. Luckily, they don't have cameras in there.
I mean, look, maybe you can start to make an argument, but he's got the shorts on. They're about to run out there and play. They're getting the coach's message, and he's just letting him know, did you hear it?
But he didn't even give him the fucking...
But if he were to.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Now, last year, were we not talking about a bloke getting grabbed on the junk?
On the ding-dong.
So it feels like, okay...
And then I think it was like some...
That was... we were debating
Liz
that.
Ellis
now we're
tried
debating...
to make it racial. The guy was grabbed on the dick and they were like, it's a power dynamic between white and black players. I was like, oh my
that's right.
God.
Liz completely lost her mind.
Are
Liz
you
reading too much...
serious?
She's gone down too many left-wing fucking propaganda websites where Dave spends all his time and come out the other side so confused. She just doesn't know what the fuck to say
I can
anymore.
even understand why you might have, even if I don't agree with it, going like, that's inappropriate touching. To make the racial connection there, I was like, wow, that is mind-boggling shit. There's a power dynamic between white and black players, so he feels like he can grab his cock. I'm like...
He's probably grabbed the cock of every other player in there.
Every single player in that dressing room. This guy might just be the serial cock grabber of the fucking team. And again, good for morale.
Great for morale. If he didn't grab his cock, then you've got a racial issue. If he's grabbed everyone else's.
And he's not grabbing the black man's penis, then that's a racial issue. But if he's an equal opportunist fondler...
which I like to believe he is...
then it's a play on. Within the confines of the sporting change rooms. Obviously, you can't just be doing it on the street.
No, to people you don't know.
No, that's illegal. And
but,
should be
I mean, they
treated
talk about going to battle to, potentially dying for their mate to win the fucking contested footy.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada.
Head down, over the ball.
Insert fucking AFL crap here.
Yeah.
If you're prepared to say all that, right, surely you allow a little bit of a grab on the arse.
I mean, fuck.
You're going to ask a bloke to die for you to win a fucking game of footy to win 4 points, and you're not going to let him grab your ass and give it a bit of a fucking squeeze, a bit of a rev up?
Anyway, look, that's AFL for you.
That's AFL.
Could you two just not talk anymore?